This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Hello. Welcome in. It is a brand new start, a brand new month, a brand new week, and we're about to spring forward like it feels like everything is happening right here.
2 weeks away from spring, officially.
Oh, thank goodness. Even though the fuzzy rodent that we pull out of the hole said that we were going to get a whole lot more winter.
Yeah, don't start it on that. I never understood the shadow thing. If he sees the shadow, there's sun, it should be faster spring. It's exactly the opposite, but, it's a groundhog. What do you want?
Although he has been kind of right because it has been very cold, so we've had some snow.
It'll be 70 tomorrow.
Yeah, we're definitely ready for that. Welcome in, everybody. Kelly Sutton, Charlie Matos, Annie Nye. We've got Jeff Roberts upstairs pressing the buttons, and we are live all around the world. CircleCountry.com, also on your favorite streaming platforms like Peacock and Roku. So good morning. Got a lot to talk about. Oscars were last night. If you didn't stay up, don't worry. We're going to tell you the top ones. Have you seen that movie? Probably not. Neither have I, but we'll discuss. So get ready for that. Also, we've got new music from Thomas Rhett. He is collabed with an artist outside of the genre. So very excited. Puppy Mountain. What's not to love about a mountain that looks like a puppy? Puppy Mountain. We'll talk about it and show it to you. And also Dumbledore for all of my Harry Potter fans out there who will be playing him in the upcoming TV series. So a lot to get to.
Puppy Mountain sounds like something you should do after Tiara at Disney.
Oh, Tiana.
Tiana, sorry. Yes, sorry. Tiara is what
Tiana wears.
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Which mountains did you do? Space, Big Fender, and Puppy.
Yeah, had the lightning lane for Puppy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We also have a friend, JD Clayton, coming in just a little bit.
Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Good morning and welcome into the studio, JD Clayton. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How's it going?
Good. Are you usually up at this hour, or is this a little out of the ordinary?
I'm getting there. I have two little girls at home, so they're slowly starting to get up earlier and earlier.
What are their ages?
So, 3 and 1.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So you grab sleep when you can.
I sleep pretty good. My wife grabs sleep when she can.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I have to be honest.
Okay.
So does the 3-year-old wake the 1-year-old up?
No, we're not there yet. Yeah. It's they both sleep pretty good, but it's a learning curve right now.
Mm-hmm. Just wait. You're in the fun stages.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
This is really good. So are you still in Arkansas? Are you home in Arkansas?
I am. Yeah. So I lived here for about 3 years, and then once my wife and I started having kids and touring was starting to pick up, it kind of made sense to just move back to our hometown of Fort Smith, Arkansas. We just have anybody that we're possibly related to lives within a 10-minute radius, so it really is helpful to have that support system while I'm touring like crazy. So
that's like Justin Moore. Justin came here and then he was like, "I'm going back, man." It's something about Arkansas.
Yeah. It's kind of nice to live a slow life and get to spend time with all my grandparents are still living. They're almost 90 and. Wow. And they are still super healthy, so they get to help watch the kids.
Oh,
and
so they're great grandparents.
That's right.
Oh,
that's
extra
it's just
cool.
it's really special, and I wouldn't trade that. We miss Nashville like crazy. Don't get me wrong. That little season that we lived here was the highlight for my wife and I. But still, it's kind of a sacrifice you make for your kids. I wanted them to have that relationship.
Oh man, I trade a lot some days for free childcare. Yeah.
That $2,500 a month to a stranger was that's different.
So we were reminiscing a little off the air. This is JD's second time with us. First time was back at the hotel studio, which in and of itself is very unique. You don't find radio stations in hotels usually. But welcome to Roy Acup's house for the first time.
Yeah, it's super awesome. Thanks for having me.
This is definitely a home for us. Like, we are in our sweet spot. So take us back to when you got started with music. How did that all happen? Is Fort Smith where you grew up? You said hometown, but
yeah, born and raised there. It was one of those things that I was never like really encouraged to do. It just kind of happened. My dad's a pastor. I kind of started writing songs in college, and it just kind of fell into place. I think my family was all pretty worried that I was going to get into to drugs and alcohol pretty heavy. So it was never something that everybody was like, yeah, do music. But it just kind of, I don't know. I would announce that I'm going to do a show and people would come, and then we would do another one and more people would come. And I think my mom was finally like, yeah, maybe you need to do this. So.
Okay. Growing up in a small town and growing up in a very tight-knit Baptist community, when you say things like, I'm going to do music, how many little old ladies said, I'm going to add you to the prayer list? Because that's like the number one thing of saying, I know you're going to get into situations you don't need to be in.
The pastor's son, he doesn't look too good. He's got some dark circles under his eyes.
You were the topic of discussion in any small group. You know that, right?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Yeah.
So rough. When was the turning point? Like at what point was there a show? Was there just a moment where you were like, this is it. I'm in it for the rest of my life.
I basically took the 4 years of college and had written some songs.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to the University of Arkansas in Fort Smith, like not the Razorbacks. I have to clarify. I wish.
But can you call the Hogs if necessary?
If called upon, okay. I can do it pretty well.
Okay.
So basically, by my senior year, I had recorded and put together a project, and I announced that I was going to do a show in my hometown, and it was like 250 people that basically had known me since I grew up, and that was kind of the moment that I think everybody was like, okay, you might have, because people were starting to kind of to like the songs, and that just encouraged me to keep going and write more songs, and I haven't stopped since. So that was close to 10 years ago.
Was that the most nerve-wracking performance you ever gave? Because it's something to perform in front of 1,000 people that you don't know and probably won't see again. You're like, I don't know, I won't see you guys.
Right.
But 250 people that raised you, babysat you, taught you in school, and they're all making eye contact.
Yeah, super nerve-wracking. I have some old videos from that show, and it's come a long way.
But you know what? If you can play in front of those people, then you know, like, okay.
Yeah. And it was really cool because it felt like everybody was there to support, and I think it just, for me, it just was a sign that I needed to try again tomorrow and write another song or schedule another show. And so it just has slowly kept going, which I love. It wasn't something I was forced into. It kind of has happened.
That's the best way. And you've got a new album now. And you put us vinyl, which I love.
Yes.
So this is Blue Sky Sundays.
This is Blue Sky Sundays.
And you produced this whole thing.
Yes.
We're going to jump into that in our next conversation.
Okay.
But we're going to play Slow and Steady right now. So give us the backstory on this before we see the video.
Yeah. So Slow and Steady was actually a song that I wrote several years ago. And kind of one of those things that you hear about where I recorded it, and I had just moved to Nashville and kind of was chasing a certain sound. And then COVID hit, and I had some time alone to like process where I was going and what I wanted to do, and ended up taking that song down and basically I had never toured and did 100 shows on the road with my live band, and we got really tight and got a lot better at music. And then I felt like, okay, I think we can go in the studio and cut this now. So it's had some versions, but yeah, it's just about a song of kind of taking life slow and being content with the slow life.
All right. JD Clayton, it's Slow and Steady, and you're hearing it right now on WSM.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
We're talking all about Blue Sky Sundays with our friend JD Clayton. Now, you produced this album. Was that the whole thought process in going into it, that you wanted to produce it, or were you putting an album together and you were like, wait, I think it would just be best if I produced it?
I don't know. It was kind of a little bit of everything. Might have also been a mistake. I had basically, like I was telling you before, I had not toured much, and finally was given the chance to go tour a lot. And so my band and I got really tight, and I kind of just went to my team and said, we should record this band because we're doing well live and we sound good. So I think we should try to record some songs. And I think originally the thought process was that maybe these would just be demos and just see how it goes. And then when we came out, it was we had something special, or what I thought was special.
That's the thing that I sometimes wonder is people go in and they do a lot of demo work, or they'll do a work tape or whatever. And sometimes, like, that's all you really needed. Like, if you keep tinkering with it, you're just going to mess up the magic.
Yeah. Well, and I think from the production side of things, like, you're a coach, so to speak. And so it was really cool to be sitting in the room with my guys that I'd gotten so close with, and I knew what each one of them could do and what their strengths were. And I could talk to them over the mic and just say, you know, that was good, but try one more time on this, doing this thing. And it was just, an unbelievable experience. I don't think any of us will ever forget it. It was pretty special.
Well, that's the reason why I love the, Marty Stewart and the Fabulous Superlatives records, or Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Right.
I mean, these guys spend, so many years on the road that, each other's thought process.
That's right.
And I think it actually really helps when you take the new album on the road that everybody's invested in it.
That's right. Yeah.
They know these songs as well as you do.
Yeah, the fans are listening to the exact players that played the notes.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
All right. Dirt Roads Are Red. Is that what you're going to do this
Yeah.
morning? All right.
I got to say, this was my favorite off the record when I listened to it this morning.
Give us the story on this song before you play it for us live.
Basically just a kid going to his pastor hoping that instead of streets of gold, the streets of gold will be dirt roads of red. The thought process behind that was just when I go out to like Colorado or Texas too, but just I like being out in the countryside, and sometimes everybody's got songs about dirt roads. I thought this might be a unique spin on it, so.
I see why that's your favorite. It's such a good song.
Great? Yeah. The Preacher Man is your dad, I'm assuming? Yeah. Or could be.
More or less.
Yeah. It's interesting. My wife is a PK. No, I grew up Catholic, so this is not a concept I'm remotely aware of, right? Because if you are, something's horribly wrong. But can you spot preachers' kids a mile away sometimes? Is there a tell, like playing poker?
Without getting too detailed.
I wasn't PK, but my best friend was, so I was kind of around that, and she was definitely much wilder than I was, for sure. There's a little bit of that.
Yeah, I've had to dial it back.
Well, we have just enough time if you want to do one more for us.
Sure.
What would you like to do?
This is a song called Madeline, just a song about a made-up person that was killing time in a hotel room in Grand Junction, Colorado, waiting for a sound check. And I knew that we needed some songs because I had already scheduled this recording session, and I didn't have enough songs, so I was like, let's try this.
So Madeline came to you.
Yeah, in a dream, I guess. No.
There you go.
This sounds like a Danny Flowers story about writing Tulsa Time.
Yeah.
Reigning in a hotel room in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Wrote a pretty good song.
Yeah.
My band and I love Danny Flowers.
Yeah.
We're big Danny Flowers fans.
Madeline, oh, I wish that things could be the way they used to be. When you used my knife to carve our names in the aspen trees, or when your long blonde wave of hair was hanging over me, Madeline. And Madeline, we used to talk and drink our coffee on your balcony, and blasting shotgun Willie in your dad's Mercedes, doing over 80, going down Free Ferry. Oh, Madeline. Yeah, I wish that I could find some peace of mind, a plane to take me far away from here. I hope you know I still feel the way I did, but do you ever think of me, Madeline? Oh, Madeline, whatever happened, I love you to infinity. We could have aged like some fine red wine. Why didn't we? I sure hope you're out there being happy, oh Madeline. Yeah, I wish that I could find some peace of mind, a plane to take me far away from here. I hope you know I still feel the way I did. But do you ever think of me, Madeline?
Oh, JD, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate
Congratulations, Blue Sky Sundays. It's the album. You can get vinyl, which we love. And really, you threw us all for a loop because I was like, oh, is it blue vinyl? No, it's red.
Yeah. A little bit of Arkansas, a little bit of Dirt Roads of red there. We do have blue ones that have a little bit of white in there for the clouds.
Limited edition.
So maybe I can come back and give you another one.
Okay. Come back and see us. You don't have to bring us vinyl, but we do love it.
We like donuts, too.
Blue Sky Sundays. It's JD Clayton in studio with us this morning. We've got more right here on Coffee, Country, and Cody. Ashley McBride, she has a song out right now, and I am obsessed with it. Okay, it's called Ain't Enough Cowboy Songs. She's performed it on stage at the Opry before, and she said, don't get it twisted. It's not what you think it is. Here's a little soundbite from Ashley.
I'm not saying we all need to be cowboys. I'm not saying we all need to own horses or anything like that. But the way of life and the way that you approach things is what is cowboy to me. Remembering someone's name when you've met them and shook their hand. Being willing to stand up for someone when they're unable to stand up for themselves or when they're just in a weak moment, even if it makes you look like an idiot for a minute. Those things are cowboy to me. And so Ain't Enough Cowboy Songs, I'm so glad we got to write that because we got to encapsulate some of the things that we think are missing from our lives that we'd like to have more of.
Okay, she had me on most of that, but remembering someone's name.
Oh, I'm so bad. And then it gets to the point where you've known them for so long, you can't possibly ask. It happens to me every once in a while. And then I'll ask someone who I think would know, and they're like, oh, yeah, I don't know that name either. I'm like, oh, how does no one know this person's name?
I will tell you, the saving grace for me has been many times LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, where I'm like, I know this person. Can I find their name discreetly and then remember and say it to them? And that has been my go-to. It's like, I know I'm friends with them on Facebook and I'll look it up, or I know I'm connected to them on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has saved me many, many times. Also, do you have a system with Renee?
Oh, absolutely. If I don't introduce her within like 3 seconds, she'll go, I'm Charlie's wife, Renee. He's bad about that.
Yes.
And then, oh, yeah, great to meet you. I'm blah, blah, blah. You hope they say I'm blah, blah, blah.
You hope
they don't always say that, though. And it's like, well, 0 for 2 on this one, I guess.
So if I see you, I know you, I'm just blanking on your name for a moment.
The worst is when you go and there's 4 people and you know 3 of their names. So then you can't introduce her to 3 of the 4 people.
Right.
And it's glaringly obvious you do not know this person's name.
Oh, that is the worst. And I've read all these books. There's one that I read that's supposed to really help your brain, supercharge your brain. Didn't work. No. But maybe it was because I was reading it incorrectly. It was really smart, though. Like when you meet somebody and you say, hi, I'm Charlie. And I'll be like, oh, Charlie, that is such a cool name. Is it CHRLIE or CHA, whatever?
There's actually an A in there.
Yeah, CHARLIE or EY, because you will remember because they're going to say, oh, it's EY or, IE, whatever. Then you're going to remember their name because you had to have them spell it.
It's funny you say that because if I ask someone to sign something for me and I don't think they know my name, I'll always say it's Charlie, IE, not EY like pride.
Right.
And then they'll remember it.
See? Yeah. So there's some little tricks there.
Well, the best of all time is Garth. It's just uncanny what he can do.
Oh, that he remembers?
Oh, it's just insane
I
how good he is.
100% sure he has a photographic memory. He remembers everyone's name. He remembers where you work. He remembers the last time you had a conversation, where they were, the stories. I mean, he really does. He can snap it right there. And I've asked him before, and he's like, oh, I don't think it's photographic. And I'm like, I think it is. Trisha would say that too. So, all right. Hi, Annie Nye.
Hey.
Annie Nye is here. Do you
Hi,
remember
good
people's
morning.
names?
I'm pretty good with names.
Are you?
I am rather
Thank
good
God,
with names.
she's the one that says hi to everybody when they walk in, so that's good.
I can remember a name for some reason. It's really in situations like my gym where I'm like, I met 13 people at once and now I know no one's name.
Right.
But like, I can just remember a name of someone who like comes in here, and if they come in like a month later, like even those people that knock on the door, I'm like, oh, Bethany. Oh, so good to see you.
That's great.
That's impressive.
Well, we're never going to let her leave now.
Right.
That is very
help
important.
us. Who is
I'll
she?
make like a little book. I'll make a little book of descriptions of people.
The other interesting was when you see someone in an area you're not used to seeing them.
Yes.
That throws me.
Yeah, like I was at the gym a few months back, and there's this tap on my shoulder, and I look back and I go, "Hey, how's it going?" And then I realize, Ranger Doug, how are you, buddy? And it's just weird to see
That's
Ranger Doug
so
in
funny.
workout clothes,
Out
not
of context.
not the cowboy way.
He doesn't have on a cacti.
Exactly.
You're like, I don't know who you are.
What is going on here?
That's so funny. Okay, so let's talk Oscars. Oscars were last night. Didn't get to watch the entire thing. You did.
I watched the whole thing.
What was your favorite moment?
Oh, you know what? I mean, I really just like the award part. I don't care for a television performance on a stage. I don't
Really?
Think, yeah,
Okay.
they're whatever to me.
Okay.
I'd rather just be there, or like that's when I go get like my next bowl of pasta or whatever. But I was really happy with all the awards that Honora won, because I thought it was super. I mean, it was a big upset that she
It was a big
beat Demi Moore.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing.
And then, of course, I'm rooting for Cynthia Erivo because Wicked's the only movie I've seen on the whole
Correct.
list.
Same.
So I'm rooting for Cynthia. I'm rooting for Ariana.
She and Ariana sounded great, though, I thought.
So they
Yes.
started the whole show.
Yeah, and the performances are live. They're not lip syncing.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. Just to catch everybody up to speed, Wicked won 2, and they were both for like technical awards.
As they should, though.
Right. One for costuming, and then what was the other one?
Production design.
Production design.
Okay. Yeah. Both of those stunning.
they should.
As they should.
But Honora, clearly the big winner.
Best Picture was Honora. Best Actor went to Adrian Brody from Honora, and Best Actress was Mickey Madison. Oh, is he not? Oh,
Brutalist.
he's from
He was in The
Brutalist.
Brutalist.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they won
He's
Best
from
Director.
Brutalist. What was Brutalist about, guys?
A man with an accent.
Yeah, it's the Statue of Liberty upside down.
Oh.
Only know that from the poster that Jeff Roberts just put up on the TV.
I don't know.
I
but
just,
he
all
did
of
a
us
good
are
job.
like,
Listen,
I don't know.
I
Because
saw.
they show clips throughout the whole
They do.
Oscar.
Sure,
So
sure.
I got it, the gist. He's got an accent.
Yeah.
Okay, so Adrian Brody was Brutalist, and then Mickey Madison was from
Honora.
Honora. All right, well, there you go. We're obviously experts.
I mean,
on
I
the
was-
Oscars. Ask us anything.
I was invested into Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Right.
Good for you.
Just,
Good for you.
know, when a fine film is snubbed like that, it just kind of leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. the whole
Truly
night.
does.
I can't believe you didn't know more of the animated films that were nominated.
They're shorts though usually,
Yeah,
aren't
they
they?
are.
Or
No,
they're foreign.
Yes. But the one Flo is about a cat. Flown. What's it called, Jeff?
don't know.
Do you know?
I didn't see
It's
that
called
one.
something Flo, I think. It's about a
Okay.
cat that I think he escapes, and he's like, I don't even think there's words. So I think we would
It's on our level,
very
is
well
what you're
do that.
saying.
Yeah, that's good.
no
Inside
dialogue.
Out 2. Inside Out 2 was
no
nominated.
dialogue. Yeah.
We just need something that we can zone out to. All of our brain power is just really exuded in the first few hours in the morning. So at night, if I'm watching something, don't make me think about it too hard.
Right.
We don't want to do that. Okay, this is pretty cool, though. For Harry Potter fans out there, there is going to be a television series. It's coming to HBO. And John Lithgow stepped out and said, I'm going to be Dumbledore, which is pretty fantastic, really. He said, you know what? It wasn't an easy decision for me to make. I was actually at Sundance Film Festival for yet another film, and they reached out to me, and I wanted to think about it because it's really going to define me for the last chapter of my life. But I'm very excited.
So question.
So, yeah.
Are they adding more to the story of Harry Potter, or like where's J.K. Rowling at? Is she having a say?
I
what happened
don't
here?
know if she is having a say. The network basically is just saying that they're finalizing a lot of the deals. The first 2 movies, basically they were all about Harry finding his way at Hogwarts. I don't know where this one fits into the canon. I don't have a clue.
If she's not having a say, she's getting a paycheck.
And she better
for
be.
sure. I love John Lithgow. I got to see him on Broadway and meet him at stage door after the show. He was in a 3-person play called Hillary and Clinton. He played Bill Clinton. And there's a scene in the play where he like eats a piece of pizza. It's him and Obama talking, and they're having a conversation while he's eating a piece of pizza. And I just asked him, I said, how many slices do you eat in a week, and do you actually eat the whole piece? And he goes, oh, if I'm hungry, I'll go through 3 slices sometimes in a performance. Sometimes like tonight, I just took a couple of bites. I'd already eaten.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but he really does eat the pizza.
So, I love it. Well, one more I got to show you. This is Puppy Mountain. It's gone viral. It is the cutest thing. Guy takes a picture and then realizes, this whole mountain looks like a dog. Look at it.
Like something out of Moana.
It really does. Like the whole mountain could just stand up and wag its tail. Oh, it's such a good boy.
It got 11 million views in like 2 days.
A picture?
Yep.
Oh,
I didn't even know you could track that.
That's so cute. Well, Puppy Mountain is pretty cute. So that's what you needed for your Monday morning.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Eric Paslay is our guest, and for his next trick, he's going to pull a song out of a hat. Basically, that's what he's doing at Chiefs. This is really fun. When did you come up with this concept?
I don't know. We've been doing it, I think, since the fall. I was just thinking, like, if there was a show I could have seen when I moved to town, it was like I would have wanted to go and see if I somehow could write a song with hit writers and artists, and that's what we do. I mean, it's I call it a songwriter experience, where we're doing a songwriter round. So if you're in Nashville, you know there's 3 or 4 of us, and we go one after another playing a song. It's the variety show. It's like the Opry in a way, and then like 2 songs through or 2 rounds through, I'll literally my management and interns pass around brown hats like I wear all the time because I have thousands of them, and it's new clean ones.
Okay, good.
It hadn't been used on the farm yet, but we have everybody or whoever wants to fill out a little piece of paper and put a song title in the hat, and I pull a song out of the hat on stage, and whoever it is comes up on stage with us, because everybody always asks, how do you write a song? And I'm like, well, you can watch us, because they're like, does the music come first? Does the title come first? So I just want to show them on the spot what happens in writers' rooms of, hey, what about this title? And then we just go from there. And I'm kind of a mumble writer, so I know to push record the first time I sing something, or I won't remember it, and sometimes there's gold, and sometimes there's nothing in there, but, at least it starts paving the road a little bit to where you're trying to get to.
So there has been a time, though, that the first gibberish, if you will, ends up, hey, that was actually, we're going to keep that. That actually was really great.
Summer, Barefoot Blue Jean Night.
Really?
Absolutely. We didn't have a title on Barefoot Blue Jean Night. I mumbled it out, and then we made something sense of it,
I love
But
it.
it's, Friday night, we didn't walk in the room and say, I got a great idea. Let's write a song called Friday Night.
Right?
It sings itself into being a lot of times when I'm writing. And, but yeah.
Wow. I'm a huge Tom Petty fan. I remember hearing an interview one time with him about Free Fallin'. And he goes, she's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Elvis and America too. He goes, I just made it all up. That was just a placeholder. Never did we thought those were going to be the words. And like Jeff Lynne says, no, those are the words. Clearly, those are the
man.
words.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So good. How old were you when you wrote your first song? Do you know?
I was like 15.
Okay.
Well, it was a poem. Actually.
Was it to a girl?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
And thank God I didn't have the guts to give it to her, because I hid it in my drawer. And maybe I was 14.
Okay.
And 15. Someone was like, well, a poem's a song. And I'm like, really? And I had started playing guitar. So I already had a poem that rhymed. So I had my first song hidden in a drawer that no one knew, and then I started singing it, and she still doesn't know, because she doesn't need to.
Oh my gosh! Okay,
great.
so give us a little premise of what the song is like.
It was like thanking God for making her beautiful. It was something like that. I want to thank you for giving her eyes of diamonds and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But don't you kind of wonder what it would have been like to sing that to her? Like, what would the reaction have been?
It probably would have been like, we're just friends. But who knows? Maybe I'd be the mayor of Temple, Texas now,
So
I don't know.
Still know where she is?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And y'all never dated? Or?
No.
Okay.
And it wasn't meant to be. It was good. Like, I still know her. And yeah.
That is so fun, but she doesn't have any idea that
maybe
you started this whole thing.
Who knows? It doesn't. Maybe.
No, that's true. But I mean, at the same time,
I don't think it's a necessary fact that needs to be known.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you knew that you had a friend who was this incredible singer-songwriter who's had an amazing career and has written tons of hits, and you were the inspiration for the first song? I mean,
maybe next time I see her, I'll be like, you know what? I mean,
cool.
You know,
Tell her. Yes.
30 years later, we're fine.
Yeah, that's very cool. I love that. So in doing these songwriter, like the pulling the song out of the hat kind of thing, have you had any that you're like, we might need to hold on to this
we
one?
have info of everybody just in case we finish it. And I tell everybody, it's like, hey, you can go count beans, but if you're a real songwriter, dear God, like just go write more songs. Of like, well, I wrote 3 words and you wrote 57. It's like, well, most days I might have written 57. I'm not taking 57 beans, you know. Anyway, but regardless of that, I'm trying to teach people also, if you're new to town, don't let people screw you over in a weird way. It's an equal share. And then also the fun thing I do at the end of pulling the songs out of the hat, we have a paper shredder on stage because I like props, because that just seems entertaining. There's a paper shredder. And at the end of the show, people realize why the paper shredder's there is because I inform everybody, song titles are not copyrightable. I could write every single song you just gave me.
Yes.
And you couldn't sue me. I mean, it's wrong of me if I shouldn't do that. So I don't. So I shred them right in front of everybody without reading them.
I love that.
And Christian Bush calls it dream confetti, is what he calls it. He's like, look at that. He's just shredding your dreams right before your eyes.
But that's really that is very admirable of you, because
just do the right thing. It's not. I don't think it's that hard to do the right thing and be nice. I think it's more
Eric,
difficult to not be nice.
You've been in town for a long time. It is hard for some people.
Some
people, not all.
It's because they're afraid to fail, and that's a whole other hard issue. And that makes me sad when I see that happen. I'm like, God, you're so afraid to fail that you're hurting other people. Stop doing that.
At what point do you think people get to that? Because you're not afraid to fail in the beginning. You have nothing to lose.
I think you're afraid to stop having success because you've had the taste of it. And then you go like, I like being at the party. What am I without this? What am I without this? I need another number one. I need another 10 number ones. I need another, what am I without this? And it's like, well, this shouldn't define you. This should be a reflection of your heart, and your heart's right now stealing from people. So maybe you got a heart issue as opposed to a success issue. Wow. And that's my prayer for people when I see friends of mine who are talented as can be. You don't need to be stealing. Not that they're stealing songs, but maybe they're stealing songs. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my deep thought of just wanting people to be happy and realizing they're chasing a win that won't fulfill them.
I love that. All right, well, so we're going to play She Don't Love You. Give us the backstory on this song. How did it come about?
Yeah, I was writing with Jennifer Wayne, and she's in Runaway June. She's amazing. Jen and I also were on Wild Hearts with Keith Urban. We wrote that with Brad Tersey and Keith. But this was before that song, and George Strait had just announced the Cowboy Rides Away tour. And Jennifer Wayne's grandfather was John Wayne. So, I mean, she has cowboy stories, you know. And I'm from Texas, so it's like, George Strait and all this and that. And we were writing some up-tempo, positive radio hit for George Strait. Then then a line came out, she don't love you, she's just lonely, you know. And it was just kind of just talking. And it's not really it's not really a true story to my life, but it was a feeling, kind of a shadow of my heart at the time, of going through a little bit of a hard figuring out my heart and love. And we ended up writing that song in probably 30, 40 minutes. And I don't know, we need to go back and see what up-tempo rockin' thing we were doing. But if you hear and She Don't Love You, Too Many Cowboys Rode Away, that thought was there because we were trying to write a song for Cowboy Rides Away tour.
Oh, so good. This is the inside scoop that you don't get anywhere else, only here on Coffee Country and Cody. It's Eric Paslay, She Don't Love You, and we'll have more with Eric after this.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
We love it when he comes to hang out with us. Eric Paslay is in the studio. He's going to be performing at Chiefs. That's coming up this Thursday night on the 6th. It's called Song in a Hat. You're going to be there with Cam and Lindsay Rhymes. Yep. And you guys literally pass the hat and ask for song titles and then write it on the spot.
That's what we do. It's I was saying it's a songwriter show, and Cam's an artist, so she'll be singing. I'm sure she'll sing Burning House.
Oh, so good.
Lindsay Rhymes is an incredible producer. He's had hits from everywhere. He's from Australia, so he's like He's just cool to be around, and he's so talented. Every time, which I just wrote with him last week with Ben Earl. He's in a group called the Shires in Europe. They're the biggest country group. And Ben totally wanted to be here this morning, but he's already writing a song. So he's like, you should come meet everybody at WSM.
Please tell them we said hi.
I will. But we wrote last week, and I always say, it's like you go in with Lindsay with a no idea, and then you have the idea. We write a song, and we walk out with the master, which is what's on an album.
Wow.
It's not a demo. I mean, it's a record. You're done, and it sounds awesome.
So we all wrote down a potential song title or lyric, myself and Annie and I and Charlie Matos, and we put them over to your right.
So we're actually doing song on a table.
We're doing song from a table.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So
Song
you're going to pull one.
Should I put them in my head?
Put 'em
There
in
you go.
your
Now it
hat.
makes it a little more official.
All right. All right. Pull one out.
All right, I pulled this one out.
All right. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's double folded. That's got to be Annie's. Okay. What is it?
Self-driving cars.
That's not. Oh, that's
mine.
Charlie.
Is that Charlie? All
Self-driving cars.
Self-driving cars.
That's not even a song title, Charlie.
It's not supposed to be a title.
No,
It's supposed to be
no.
an idea.
It's an idea. Self-driving cars.
I'm not supposed to be. And it
All
could be
right.
a title, Missy. You don't
Maybe
know what
we
Eric
could-
and I...
I mean, if we've got enough.
Eric and I will have the master by 10 o'clock this morning. Come on now.
Okay. All right. I was just in LA, and they do have self-driving cars there called Waygos.
I mean, I don't.
You're working on it. I
It
can
sounds
feel
like
it.
gears are turning.
Yeah. It's got
I
a
always
driving.
say the soundtrack matters to the movie.
The
it's
driving
like,
beat, yeah.
What's the idea? What it should go like? But my thought is like self-driving cars. Why do you need a self-driving car? What are you doing in the car? I want a self-driving car tonight with you. I want a self-driving car tonight. It's true, 'cause I can't keep my hands off of you. I want a self-driving car tonight. It's true. Vroom, 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 vroom. Vroom, 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 vroom. I hope we don't lose the grit tonight, 'cause I want a self-driving car tonight with you. I want to keep my hands all over you. We could even not hold it when we drive through the drive-thru. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
That's excellent. I
But it's
love
like,
it.
well, it's the best thing about songwriting is like you take an idea and go, where would someone not take it? You know?
Right.
Maybe
Oh,
like the
that's-
self-driving cars are gonna run the universe. Well,
That's the deluxe.
so the other side of it.
That's fun. That's
But,
really fun. You're so good at that.
What else did y'all write?
I don't know. Write them. Let's pull them
How
out.
much time we have?
Let's see.
We'll just all write a song together.
Okay, I like it. What does that one say?
The dad vice? Dad vice.
Like
advice from my
advice?
dad to me when it feels like the world's falling apart.
Oh, Annie, that's good. The dad vice.
Well, I mean, it's not self-driving cars, but fine if you want to go that. If you want to go that way, I guess it's fine. You know.
So your dad says that? Yeah. So what's your dad's name again?
Tom.
Tom, if you are listening, just know she's taking the dad vice to heart, and she's also getting Eric Paslay to write a song about it. So
When the world's falling apart, somebody went and broke your heart, and the sky's caving in, you'll survive, baby. And the prayers don't find heaven, and you're always rolling a 7. Look up, don't think twice. You love your dad advice. You survive. Don't think twice. Your love beyond heaven's open arms. Dad advice from the one here on earth to the one
tears. I'm videoing
That's a
over
really
here
good
trying
idea.
not
I
to
don't know.
cry. How do you do that, Eric
It's a
Paslay?
gift. I know that it's a gift.
That's
I
a
swing
gift.
that.
Yeah.
I always say, like, people are like, did you write a hit today? I'm like, well, I feel like anything most people write in Nashville could be a hit if it gets played a lot. The problem is there's a whole million miracles that have to happen for that song. And I always say, well, how many songs should you write? And I'm saying, like, write a bunch, because my job, I was a baseball player growing up. And it's like, you swing the bat, you swing the bat. I hit a grand slam a lot of days, but there's no one in the stands to hear it. Does that mean it's not a grand slam? Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you can't really measure a song as far as feet.
Yeah.
Eventually you can measure it if they play it way too much on the radio.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a great song. It just got played a lot.
That's
and
right.
now it's connected to memories, and therefore people love it. Who Let the Dogs Out? Woof, woof.
All right, we have 1 minute and 45 seconds left.
Well, I didn't
You got
try
one
to make
more?
you cry, but hopefully
That was so good.
Does this exact scenario happen every night, where like one song everybody's laughing, the other somebody's actually getting emotional at what you've just
That's
read?
life, right?
Yeah, that's
You
great.
know?
I love
so
that.
good.
You show up in a room and the right song should be written, you know? You're not the only one trying to be the only one.
Right.
This is yours, hey.
I had
Kelly.
a girl say that. She goes, well, he better step up his game, because I got news. You're not the only one trying to be the only one. And I was like, oh, and I went to my phone and I wrote it down. I was like, this is awesome.
I like using minor chords on sexy songs.
Okay. Okay.
Because you're like, oh, anything could happen. You're not the only one trying to be the only one. Now I can see you looking my way, babe, acting like you wanna buy me a drink. I can see you deep, your leg bouncing crazy, nervous, 'cause you wanna meet me. You're not the only one trying to be the only one. You're not the only one. Just look at me, got the whole room falling in love. You're not the only one. Not the only one. You know?
I love it. Yeah, go ahead and finish
When the
that one
band
up.
starts playing that doo-wop song, make you wanna hold my body all night long. But I can dance with anybody, 'cause I know all the moves. I can tell you're a bad guy. I know the truth, you're not the only one trying to be the only one. You know? So there you go.
I
You flip
love
it
it.
and be like, you're not the only bad guy in here. I know your type.
I love it.
So I'm still looking for the only one.
That's so good.
Anyway.
Guys,
I hope
we
y'all
were-
recorded all that, because we probably should finish all
We
those.
should finish all of those. Oh my gosh, if you want more
I hope
of it,
some farmer in his tract, his Massey Ferguson, has recorded that.
we've got it for you.
Side note, if anybody needs to know for Massey Ferguson with the Perkins, I might be selling mine soon.
This just turned
Shout
into
out. Being
this
Cross
just turned
Plains.
into
The
swap
swap
shop. Yeah. Let us know what you've got to trade. What do you
got-
think that retail value is on that? And we'll see what else we got out
If
there.
you got enough pawpaw trees to plant.
There it is. There it is.
Quote our old buddy Keith Bilbrey. Got 2 Chihuahua puppies up for grabs this morning to the First Peoples.
Friday night, it's going to be happening. Actually, Thursday night at Chiefs. Thursday night at Chiefs. More of what you just witnessed with Eric Paslay. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. I mean, they call it a 10-year town, so my hope is that somebody showed up last night and we speed it up for them. And they bring a
Excellent.
great idea and we go, you're a great writer. Let's write more.
That's perfect. We got more on WSM.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Coffee, Country, and Cody on WSM, and we have a lot to get to. Entertainment headlines. We're going to do a little recap of the Oscars, but first, I got to brag on my friends at Best Buddies. Best Buddies does a friendship ball here each and every year, and there are Best Buddies chapters, I think, all around the United States. So think Big Brothers, Big Sisters, but for friends who might have disabilities. So, you know, you have everybody coming together and just having a great time. It's a big old dance. We are at Bridgestone Arena. I am the karaoke host for the night. They have everyone shown on the Jumbotron, which is so fun. And we had a bunch of different songs that were being played. There are my backup dancers. That's Reese over there on the far corner, and that's Anna closest to the camera. They were doing Cotton Eye Joe, I think. At this point, might have been Cotton Eye Joe, I don't know. But they were dancing. There's Alex in the middle. I mean, it was the best night ever. All I really do is go, hey, who wants to sing this song? And they all come up on stage.
Oh, it's so cool. And it's such a special night for them. And you get to be a part. Like you said, it does your heart good, right?
Well, here's the fun thing about it. Think about a high school dance. And so you go to a high school dance and everybody's really worried, I want to be cool, or I don't want to dance because maybe I might feel weird if no one else is dancing. None of that pretense is here. Everybody walks in ready to have a good time. They are going to dance. They are going to sing. They are going to do all of the fun stuff. And it's not just our friends, but also their buddies. So everyone is there having a good time. All the local high schools came in droves, and they get to walk the gold carpet when they walk in.
Aww.
And I announce them as they're walking in. It's just so special. So can't say enough great things about Best Buddies. Thank you for having me back to be the MC. All right, let's talk about Puppy Mountain. I talked about this briefly before. If you didn't get to see it, it was very brief. So I want to show it again because I think it's worth it. It's a picture that someone took that went completely viral. It looks like a dog laying down, and as Annie so aptly put it, like something out of Moana. Like this whole mountain could just stand up and wag its tail.
I think it was a tourist from Shanghai who took the photo. It is in China.
Yes.
And I don't think he even realized it when he took it, but when he posted it, it's like, oh, this is Puppy Mountain.
Puppy Mountain. It says it looks like he's quietly protecting the Yangtze River. So it's so cute.
So if you're a Disney fan, this is the new plan for Tom Sawyer's Island. It's going to be Puppy Mountain.
We're going down, so we'll get to see it, hopefully. Let's talk about the Oscars. Big Oscar celebration last night in Hollywood. Best Picture went to Anora. Best Actor was Adrian Brody, and Best Actress was Mickey Madison. Adrian Brody was in The Brutalist, and Mickey Madison was in Anora. And in case you were wondering, hey, what about Wicked? That's the one movie that was on this list that I actually saw. Wicked walked away with Best Costume Design and Best Set Design.
Now, I did not stay up for the whole thing. When did Sonic the Hedgehog 3 win? Because that's the last thing I saw. What does that... They do that in the pre-show, maybe?
Those are the Razzies. They'll be out later.
Hey, now. Don't be dissing Jim Carrey and the Hedgehog. Come on.
I'm sure it was a lovely film. I didn't catch that one
It was
either.
a fine film. Lovely might be too strong.
Okay.
I also did see Wicked.
This was the pop-out of the night for me. So because I'm kind of in and out doing a lot of other stuff, right? And I walk in, and they have a close-up on Brandi Carlile.
Oh, wow.
Close-up. And I'm like, what's Brandi Carlile doing there? I did not realize a song she wrote for Elton John
was nominated.
Oh,
wow.
And they showed a little vignette about the song. Now, she didn't win, but I mean, I was all of a sudden invested. I'm like, oh, wait, we know her.
Look at that.
I don't know half these people. I know her. So,
and a shout out to the folks at Hulu. Next time you try and stream the Academy Awards, get your act together.
Was it a mess?
It kept logging people out. It would not accept. It made me log back in, and then kept telling me my email was not valid. So I instantly went to X to see, and I just looked up Hulu,
and it just went nuts
down, and there were like millions of comments on it. Because if you cut the cord, that's how you're going to watch the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Listen, if Tubi can do the Super Bowl,
thank you.
Hulu, come on, you got the Disney money.
Get it together,
You should be able
Hulu.
to stream this.
Get it together. I do want to tell you about this new song. It's Thomas Rhett, and he's done a collaboration with a Christian artist named Forrest Frank. So if you needed something, it's a brand new month and a brand new week, and if you need something to get you going, it's called Nothing Else. If I got all that, I really don't need nothing else.
Jesus, my family, and my health. Those
there
are the three?
Go. That's it. I mean, he's not wrong. So congratulations to TR. Thank you for being with us here on Coffee, Country, and Cody. We are back tomorrow. Marin Taylor will be coming in the studio with us, and we got an Opry show tomorrow night as well. Kip Moore will be performing, and he has an after show, so hopefully we'll see you there. We'll be back here tomorrow morning.